Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Season 8, Episode 50, overall 435 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, or give the dealership a call at 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Palme sent you, or email the dealership at info@barrycullen.com. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is on radio station WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia. Weeknights from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, the home of Southern Talk and Sports. Good morning on this Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Summer's done. We're now into fall, and I'm excited to have our guest on today. This is her first time on our show, and I'm excited to have her on. Her name is Amanda Keeles. She is a London, Ontario award-winning Canadian country artist who just released her latest song, Playing It Cool, and is a two-time winner of the Canadian Open Singing-Songwriting Contest. And she just found out this past weekend her music video, Saving Grace, won Best Music Video for the Toronto Independent Film Festival. She has an upcoming tour called Can't Stop Me Now Tour, taking place September 27th, I believe, at the Biltmore Theater in Oshawa. And we're going to bring on our guest this morning, Amanda, and talk a little country music and how she started up. Good morning, Amanda. How you doing?
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Not too bad. I hope that opening was okay.
That was quite an opening. Thank you for that.
Well, I was going to say congratulations on your music career. And how long have you been at this right now?
Well, I've been writing and singing and performing my whole life. But as far as the tour goes, we started February of this year. My first release to radio was actually in January of 2023. So really fresh on the scene, really, compared to a lot of other artists, but a lot has happened in a short period of time.
Well, congratulations. And for me, I just found this new career a couple years ago during the pandemic, and this is something I have a passion for. And just listening to the music, I can tell how passionate you are. And I want to say congratulations. And also, you just came back recently from Edmonton, Alberta. How did that go?
Oh, it was fun. It was wonderful. We had 4 showcases that we were asked to be on. We had songwriter sessions, and the band actually flew out, and we did what was called the CCMA Country Crawl. So really active this year in performance, and it was great to meet a lot of other artists and a lot of industry representatives. So it was a very successful and really fun trip.
People don't realize this about Canada. They think of hockey and lacrosse and Tim Hortons, but country music has really grown in our country over the past decade.
I agree. It is definitely, especially in Ontario too. Every province kind of has a different take on country music, I guess. When you go out west, it is really like prevalent, right? It's really most of their music is country, but I'm finding that in Ontario, you're getting this huge boom of new country artists coming up and a lot of amazing talent.
When Saving Grace won Best Music Video from the Toronto Independent Film Festival, and what was that like?
That was very exciting. I had known that it was selected for an official selection to be screened at the awards. And, I was in Edmonton at the CCMA week when they had done the screening. So we had videographer Jake Sauvé from Roadhouse Productions. He actually went and saw it on the big screen, and it was received very well. And I found out this weekend that it was the winning music video. And that was such a thrill for me. So, it had won Best Music Video at the London Music Awards. And it is as quarterfinalist for the Los Angeles Film Awards. So it's getting so much distance, this video. And it's really has to do with Jake Sauvé, just his incredible editing and the way he told the story. He just told the story of the song incredibly well with the acting, and I was so happy with it.
And people don't realize, obviously, you're the musician, but how much work goes behind the
There is a
scenes?
lot.
Not having the-
Sorry, you froze there a little bit, Chris. I'm
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
sorry, you froze just a little bit. There is a lot that happens behind the scenes. People come to the shows and they see we have so much fun on stage. There's so much energy that my band brings, and also the music videos. They're really fun to do, but everything is there's work behind it. There's a lot of people that you don't see that brings all these things together.
And I wanted to mention this to you as well, but growing up in the 70s and 80s, you had MTV and Much Music and stuff like that. Are music videos, how much work goes into a music video, and are they still quite popular like they were before?
I think that YouTube definitely that's where I mostly do my music videos too. I send them out to music video channels as well, but I think YouTube, especially when people hear a song, they either go to their streaming platforms or they go to YouTube because they want to see who the artist is, what they look like. So I think that music videos are still very, very important for people to kind of get a feel of what the artist is really about, other than just hearing them.
How much has live streaming changed the music industry over even the past decade?
Huge, huge. Uh, Anybody can release now on any streaming platform, and that not only is great for any artist who wants to get their music out there, but it also makes the playing field 1,000 times huger, right? So, I find the ease of it is wonderful, but if you think of all the streaming that happens and all the releases that happen on a daily basis, you have to do something to make yourself stand out a little bit in order for people to locate your music, I feel.
How competitive is the music industry, especially breaking into it? And do you still see a future for CDs? Obviously, vinyl records are huge now as well, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on CDs and vinyl albums and how competitive the industry is.
It's a very competitive industry. When I went into this, I kind of look at it from a different angle. I do it because I love it, and most musicians will. But I find that it it comes in waves. So it's not like it's a continually straight up journey. I find that it just ebbs and flows. So, something fantastic will come up and happen, like something that did this weekend. And then things will get quiet maybe for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, maybe a single will get a life of its own and really take off. So, there's so many artists that are putting music out there that, it's having the right team behind you too. having the right, radio promoter, tracker, publicist. We push the songs quite hard, which really helps. And the fact that we are out on tour, kind of promoting the debut album really helps too. And for your question about the CDs and vinyl, so for my merchandise, I sell vinyl records at my shows. And they are really, people buy them. Like, I wonder if they actually have a turntable at home, or whether it's just kind of a cool thing to have it on vinyl. But yeah, I include it on my merch table.
Wow, because I never thought, I'm 52, by the way. I never thought vinyl records would be back, but it's amazing. And I'm just wondering if cassettes will be back at some point, or even 8 tracks. But CDs, I noticed with my new car, they don't have CD players anymore. So is the CD market shrinking too now?
I didn't print CDs this time. I had been given a recommendation, do vinyls. So I thought, you know what, I'll get a whole bunch of vinyls printed, and we'll see how that goes. But I have had a couple people that have said, do you have CD? Because maybe their car still has a CD player in it, right?
Yes, I miss having it.
Yeah, those, it depends, right? It depends on the person, what they're looking for. Most people, they stream it on their phones through their car. So it depends on the person, I suppose. But I should get some CDs done up just in case.
And you've done what? How many songs have you released now? I think 10, I believe.
I have done, so this is my sixth. This
Sixth.
is my sixth release. Yep.
Wow.
So,
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Every 3 months, 3 to 4 months, we're coming out with new music. And,
when you're writing a song, Amanda, sorry. That was on me. Sorry.
Then I was saying that we put it all on an album. We took all the releases that we were going to do and put it all on an album. And that's how we created the tour.
How nice is it to see your music being received so greatly in Canada and the States and internationally? And how has the reception for your music been in London, where you are currently?
It's been really great having such good feedback from these songs. Every song is different on the album, because I wrote it all at different periods of my life, when country was evolving and changing. So every song on the album sounds completely different than the other one. So, I started with a classic country. I went, and then I released a more country pop. And then I released, Saving Grace, which was kind of a pop flavor in it. And then Can't Stop Me Now was a real go-getter song. So, it's received differently by different people. In my show, I do one song called I Don't Care, and I play it just on piano all by myself. And it was in Hamilton. We were doing a show in Hamilton, and when I was done, this one lady stood up in the front row and started clapping. And I was just so touched by that, because it impacted her in some way that made her stand up and start clapping. And I will never forget that. I thought, wow, like that's something when you get a reaction like that.
Music is powerful, and certain songs can really touch people's emotions as well.
Yes, I believe that 100%. Every song that I've written, I've kind of written it from kind of an emotional standpoint. So it was either something I was going through, something I heard that somebody else was going through. So, I think that every song that you hear, you can probably kind of go, oh yeah, I remember when that happened to me at some point in my life, right? Because I'm no different than anybody else, right? So everything that I've experienced or gone through, I'm sure somebody else has as well. So I think that's why maybe, I get different responses for the different songs I do.
How important is it having a good manager? And also, do you have your own recording studio as well?
Management is very important. Just keeping things organized for me because, at times things come through fast and furious. So making sure that, like my interviews and my schedule is organized and attainable, right? So having a team behind me is definitely important to me. And what was the other question?
I was going to ask you this later, but I'm going to do it now.
Oh,
For
okay.
those people that are watching this live stream, those people that are watching this live stream on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, and Instagram, and on audio platforms, those people that are watching this and are listening that are interested in getting into the music career or the music industry, Amanda, what advice would you give to them?
I would say stay true to yourself. Your music is you. It's an expression of you. I would not change it to either please anyone else. So a lot of people that they will have either a label or management that will say, okay, you've got to change the way that you do it because it's more radio friendly. It's not going to be picked up or received as well as the other songs. And I take suggestions. I am always receiving suggestions, and I just always remember to remain true to my music and who I am. Because once you start to change who you are, then your music will start to change. And I just feel that you should always just remain who you are. And especially for newer artists coming into this, because I've gone through it and experienced it, you block out the things that will not help you move forward. So if there's negative comments, you know, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's just the way it is. Not everybody is going to like every artist, but you just have to remember that, you are putting your music out there and there is always an audience for it. And you have to continue to just push forward and drown out all the negativity because there's going to be some at some point.
Absolutely, and you know what? It's not just music, but radio, media. You're gonna get people. You're gonna get your haters or non-believers or skeptics. You got to block that out as well. And I wanted to ask you this too: how important is a strong support system in the music industry? And obviously, you're going to get successes, and I don't use the word failure. I call them temporary setbacks.
Yeah. So I have great support. I have a lot of great support when it comes to my shows and radio. I've got great. I've did my whole album out at the 6th time CCMA Studio of the Year, MCC Studios in Calgary. I found the one of the top producers, Johnny Gasparic. He brought in heavy hitters from Juno Award winner, CCMA winner, um, to play on my album. So I went and found the best that I could to create the strongest album that I could. So I think that's very important to have people who have the knowledge and the experience to help you move forward and help you get the best product that you can.
How much of an impact has Johnny had on your music career? And quick thoughts on being at the Canadian Country Music Awards recently on September 11th, 12th, and the 14th, I believe.
So Johnny Kasparic if anybody who has worked with him, uh, I have to say he's a genius when it comes to blending tracks and finding where the best spot for guitar, my vocals. When I'm in in the recording studio in the booth, I'm listening back to the tracks and he'll say, "What do you think of this?" And he'll have everybody play and he'll just play it back. And I'm telling you, Chris, the first song that we did, I had like tears in my eyes because I thought, that's my song. And it was just poof. It just like was so full. I was it was emotional for me to be able to hear my song back. And when I go in and I tell him, this is kind of what I'm thinking, he will take that and he will just like create from it. So it is my song and it is my idea, but the way he puts the music together is just it's fantastic. And that's why they're the six-time winner of CCMA Recording Studio. And as far as being out at the CCMAs, it was a great experience. And for anyone, any artist who is trying to, be heard, um, put your name into these songwriter sessions, Diamonds in the Rough, Blue Jay sessions, Country Crawl. I put my name in for all four and I got all four, which was so surprising for, the second time that I've been at the CCMAs. And the first time I just went out and soaked it all in. I tried to learn as much of the business as I possibly can. And this time out, I was actually a part of a lot through the week.
Gonna ask you this. How important is the songwriting aspect of it? And would you tell somebody that's trying to get into the music industry they should start out writing songs first before they perform?
Um, it depends. There's a lot of artists out there and bands that do covers, and they're fantastic. They're fabulous. I think that the whole comfort level of performing just comes with time and experience. So, and just getting, interacting with the crowd and the band behind you. I think that just comes with the amount of shows that you do. So having that behind you before, you write and release a song, and then when you go out and play it, you've got the whole package. I had been performing for most of my life, on and off, and so when I released the songs, I was so eager. I was so eager to get my band together and get out there and start performing. And I got to tell you, Chris, I was so lucky to get the players that I do on the road with me. I have Scott Zurich, Brian McHugh, James Vermew, Shem Jacob. These guys are so professional and so good at what they do that I was just so blessed to be able to have them on the road doing this project with me.
It's truly a team effort behind the scenes too.
It definitely is. And, the more time that we started playing and, on the road together, now we've created this great friendship, right? Because you get to know each other on a business level, on a playing level, and then just on a personal level. So we have great chemistry on stage. And I think that you see that and you see how much fun we're having when you come to a show.
Absolutely. And I know you've already done one tour of Ontario and you were out in Edmonton, but have you done any outside of Alberta and Ontario, and any plans to go to the States and internationally in the future?
So we are just finishing up the Ontario portion, and then absolutely we are looking at going outside of Ontario into the other provinces. There has been talk of us going down into the US. We do have some spots that we'd love to play, so that is something that we'll be looking into for 2025.
That's not that far away. But Amanda, if you're still good for time, I have some questions I wanted to ask you. And my audience here in Guelph, Ontario, and obviously station is. Can you tell my audience a little bit about yourself, and when did you develop interest in music, country music, and how much of an impact with your family and your music career
So I
for the
I
Wi-Fi issue?
Yeah, it's just breaking up a
Go
little
ahead.
bit, but I did get your question. So I was kind of exposed to country music from a very, very young age. My mother was a songwriter and country artist herself. She traveled with a country traveling band. So they went and they did shows all around Ontario, and she was tagged Sweetheart of the Barn Dance. So she had so much talent. And when she started having myself and my brothers, she focused on that, but she had country music playing all the time. So every time I came home from school, there was the radio on and she was singing all the time. So that really got me exposed to the country music. She taught my brothers how to play guitar. I kind of leaned towards piano. So she taught me chords on the piano, which those chords now create my songs. That's how I write my songs. I don't read music, but from those chords, I write all my songs. And then I continued on. And through my teenage years and early 20s, I was performing and entering and winning all these singing contests and songwriting contests. And then I got married, and thinking that that passion for music was similar, and finding out that it wasn't. And so, I had to make a choice. Do I want to continue to pursue my music, or not upset the apple cart? And I remained true to the vow that I took. So for 2 decades, I just wrote. And wrote. And I thought my songs are never going to see the light of day. I just wrote them for myself as an expression of what I was feeling and my emotions. And as time went on, unfortunately, due to nobody's fault, the marriage did fall apart. And I concentrated on my career, which was fantastic. I was the top of my game. But something was missing, Chris. And I was like, why am I not doing what I love? There is nothing stopping me from doing what I love. So I quit my job, and I am doing this 100% full time and bringing all my songs out that I've written over the years. And that's my story. And that's where Can't Stop Me Now was the last song I wrote on the album. And that is kind of where I'm at. There's nothing that can stop me from doing my music now, except for me.
And that's what I love about doing this show is connecting with people and storytelling. And even though we're in different professions, you're in music, I'm in radio. I'm 52 years old, and that the song "Can't Stop Me Now" is something I'm hearing, because at being 52, people are like, "You're too old. You're self-taught," and this is something I have passion for. And just talking to you, Amanda, even for a half an hour now, I can tell how passionate you are. And for many years, I was in another job. I got paid well, but I was not happy. And I've gone all in on this, and I absolutely love doing this, and hearing my guest stories. And my show is very different. My shows on my channel, it's not just those sports talks. I've had comedians, actors, doctors, everybody on my show, and that's what I'm most proud about. This show is diverse with guests and topics.
Yeah. And you know what? Chris, I'm right there with you when you said, you know what, you're doing something you love and that you're very passionate about. There's so many people that do not do what they love, and they put it aside for whatever reason. They're too scared to pursue it. They don't do it because of somebody else. But if you don't do what you love, or you don't at least try, this is something I've always wanted to do. And if I never tried, or I never went out and actually shared my music, I think that I would always have that yearning or craving to do it. And I'd probably get older and regret that I never did it. So for anybody who has something they really want to do, you got to do it. You got to go out and do it. You only live once.
Absolutely. And it's called stepping out of your comfort zone. And I was just like, okay, I'm getting my benefits and putting in my time, but I wasn't really growing as a person. And that's great advice, Amanda. And it's important to have a passion. And if you start losing that passion for what you're doing, then it's probably time to move on to another job or another career.
Absolutely. And I had done my career for almost like over 23 years I had done it. So you know, I did it well and I got paid well. And, I, I did a lot. I did stock trading, right? So all this business background actually helps me with what I'm doing now too. So, all the years that I put in and all the designations I studied for, they are actually helping me make wise decisions on the business side of what I'm doing now. So I think that everything kind of happens for a reason.
Absolutely. In my former career, I worked in a casino racetrack environment and I had to deal with all walks of life. I had to listen to people, talk to people, interview people. In a way, I think it helped me prepare for this as well.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe everything that you do through your life kind of prepares you for whatever the next chapter is.
Okay, Amanda, next question. Who are some of your other music influences and mentors and some of your favorite artists growing up?
Oh, well, for my songwriting, I listen to Jan Arden, which is, people are like, well, she's not country, but the emotions she puts in her songs really made me start digging deep into my own songs. So Jan Arden was one. Amanda Marshall was another one. Um, I really loved the I don't know, the power and the passion that she has in her voice. So I tend to put that same kind of power in some of my songs. Um, so those were my earlier influences, Canadian, I would say. Um, as far as, artists that I listen to now, oh my gosh, I listen to so many. Canadian wise, I love Mackenzie Porter. I think she's fabulous. Dallas Smith. I could go on and on. There's like so many Canadian artists. I have it my Spotify playlist, Chris. I gotta be honest with you. It is classic rock. So you'll have like, I'll be listening to like AC/DC 1 minute, and then like the next minute will be like a Carrie Underwood song. And then all of a sudden I'll have like really classic, like Thin Lizzy, and then I'll have like Dallas Smith. It just goes, it's not very consistent. It is all over the map, but that just is like how diverse my love of music is.
I wanted to get your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on Beyonce going into country music? Because I know some of the guys over in the States, like John Schneider, weren't too happy about it. But if she's got a passion for music, I think it's a great thing if that's what she wants to do.
Absolutely. I think it was really gutsy for her to go outside of her comfort zone. Um, it's people looked at it differently. Some people absolutely loved it, and then other people were like, "Well, this isn't really country. She's pop. She's." But I think it's really neat how people cross genres, right? Look at Post Malone. I have to tell you, that is a brilliant move for Post Malone to start doing, collaborations with the top country artists out there. So when he changed over and thought, okay, how am I going to present myself? Like, it was absolutely brilliant of him to go find the biggest stars in country and join up with them and do duets. So whoever was behind that idea is really smart. Smart move.
Two other questions I just thought about right now. Obviously, you play the piano. Do you have a favorite song that you like to play on the piano? And what is the hardest aspect of songwriting industry? Is there ever a time where you get like a sort of what a writer's block is?
Um, so I do love playing piano. I don't read music. I don't read any music at all. So my piano playing is I create. I create on piano, right? If I'm going to learn up a song, I'm going to learn it up by playing by ear. I'll listen to it and then I'll go and I'll learn it up on piano. But because like I told you before, like my mom had taught me those chords and I expanded just from learning those chords. My songs sound like I've been playing for a while. And really it is just my songs that I am creating. So playing what song I love to play the most is probably the one I mentioned earlier. It's called I Don't Care, and it is the saddest song that I've ever written, but I love to play that because it's such a has a pretty it's got a pretty run to it on the keys, so I really like playing that. And as far as writer's block, sometimes, yeah, like I'll go down there and I'll have an idea in my head and I'll have a couple lines and then I'm like, I'm stuck. It's like something just won't come to me. And I'm thinking, but upstairs, I was like, it came to me no problem. And then when I got down to the piano, it was stopped. So, the best thing for me is just to walk away, right? Go do something else. And I'll be just humming the song. And then all of a sudden, bam, I know, let's add this line. And then I'll run downstairs again. So I think writer's block is just normal that, most writers just walk away from it. And when they come back, it starts to flow again.
Hey, Amanda, I do have your latest song, Playing It Cool. It'll be out on September 27th, and it's available on all platforms and that, Spotify, and Apple iTunes. I have to do this because we're on YouTube and Facebook and copyright. Do I have your permission
Absolutely.
to play on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, please subscribe. Please, I'm gonna let everyone know I've subscribed to your Amanda Keeles YouTube channel. So everybody, please subscribe her to your YouTube channel and Spotify and Apple iTunes as well.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Please let me know if you can hear the audio okay. All right, everybody, this is Playing It Cool. This is the latest song, a hit single by Amanda Keeles. 1 second. Playing It Cool.
Oh, yeah. There goes another heart that you wrecked. They hit 'em up fast when they least expect. Common sense telling me to run, but you're a good-looking, smooth-talking son of a gun. You walked in with your ego loud like you just don't care until you got a glimpse of what's all wrong here. Playing it cool, I ain't gonna be another lovesick fool. Playing it smart, you're never gonna break my heart. You're talking sweet, but it's all pretend. Blowing on the phone at 1 a.m. Can't justify what you have done. The game with me has just begun. I got your head spinning, got you asking where it leads. You have met your match with me. It's gonna bring out to your knees. Playing it cool, I ain't gonna be another lovesick fool. Playing it smart, you're never gonna break my heart. No. Playing it cool, I ain't gonna be another lovesick fool. Playing it break my heart. Playing it cool, I ain't gonna be another lovesick fool. Playing it smart, you're never gonna break
Th- Thoughts on your latest song, Amanda?
Sorry, you broke up there. Say that again, Chris.
Thoughts on playing it cool and how satisfying was it to release it? It's such a catchy song, and just a little bit about the how you came up with this song.
It's so fun to do live. Like, we have the band and I have so much fun when we play this live. So this is kind of the song about, um, you know, kind of playing with this serial heartbreaker, right? This guy who's like going around, he's got an ego and he's going around breaking all these women hearts, and then all of a sudden, like, he comes across someone who is like playing it really cool and kind of making his head spin because he's trying to get her attention, and she's just playing it so cool and it's just frustrating him. So that's where the whole idea of playing it cool came from.
Was most of your songs, are they generally about 3.5 minutes for radio?
Most of them were on the couple on the album went a little bit longer. But yeah, Johnny had done each song radio edit so that they were all radio ready.
And when this song came out, did you have your friends and family listen to it first?
Um I brought it to the studio and I said, I had the band kind of listen to it too. I said, "What do you think of this?" And they actually really liked it. They're going, "Yeah, that's kind of a cool, it could have a little bit of a rock thing in there too." And so when I brought it into the studio, we had some really good players. We had Justin Cutting, who was CCMA Bass Player of the Year. He plays with Brett Kissel. He came in and did bass. Joey McIntyre, Keith Flowen, and then we had Bill Blaney in there. And each one of them brought this different kind of a sound to it, right? I had brought this simple little demo with the beat and my voice, and they were like, "Yeah, yeah, let's try this." So they would kind of just put their little input into it, and it just created this fantastic, fun, upbeat song. And we're working on the music video now too, which is really, we're shooting in about 2 weeks, and that's going to be a really fun one.
Congratulations, because I definitely think you have a hit with this song.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Amanda, are you still good for a little more
Yeah, yeah, sure.
time? And I would like to play a song of yours from your YouTube channel. Can't Stop Me Now. We'll do that in a minute or two. But I wanted to ask you this question too, Amanda. For my audience, how would you go about describing your style of music?
Um, it's country, right? It's definitely, I've doesn't matter what I've sing throughout my life, tend to have a country flavor to it, like a feel to it. So, I can sing a ballad and it comes out country. I could try a rock tune and for some reason it comes out kind of a country style. So, but I think that, you know, my style is so, like, versatile, really. Like when you listen to the songs on the album, it's like, okay, she's really country here. She's definitely classic country. But then, My Heart Feels the Same Way Too has really more of a pop feel to it. And then Can't Stop Me Now it was released to Canadian radio, but in the States, I think we're going to be probably releasing it not only to country, but to adult contemporary, because I've had a few promotion companies approach me from the US and say, we think this song would do well on the adult contemporary side. So I thought, you know what? We may end up just crossing over. Well, I'll always be country. I'm always going to be country, but we may cross over a few of the songs because they may not fit into the country genre.
How the success you've had so quickly, how has it changed your life?
It's exciting. It's really exciting. Mostly because this is something I've always wanted to do. So I really didn't think that it would roll along as quickly as it has. Um, we when we started releasing the songs, and Johnny had recorded 3 of my songs, and I thought, okay, I was really so appreciative that he did it. But when I called him and I said, I got it 3 more, he's like, come on down, let's do 3 more. So he was so open to it. And by that time, we had enough for an album when we were done. So yeah, it's been such a gratifying experience, especially, recording was one thing, but getting the band, the quality of the band that I have, the players, and actually being on the road is a totally different it's a totally different part of it. So, and then on these awards for music video, um, that's just another element. So everything that I'm doing as I'm going along, I'm just soaking it in and I'm enjoying it. And I'm grateful, very grateful for everything that's happened so far. And it just makes me want to keep going and creating and writing.
Well, to ask you this too, the pick affected the music industry and a lot of things for 2 years. Is any of your live performances ever live streamed on your website where people who are from out of town and can't get to your concerts can watch you perform a live stream?
I haven't done a live stream yet. We've talked about it. Um, but we always put clips from our shows on socials so people can see it. I don't think there's anything better than seeing it live though. You get just the whole experience and the energy when you're live. But yeah, that is definitely something that we had talked about going live.
All right, Amanda. Again, I have your permission to play "Can't Stop Me Now," courtesy of your YouTube channel. Everybody, check out Amanda Keeles' YouTube channel and please hit the subscribe notification.
Yes, absolutely.
Please let me know if you can hear the audio okay as well. Just one second. This is called "Can't Stop Me Now" by Amanda Keeles.
This 9 to 5 shift ain't doing it for me. Working late to make deadlines that I will never meet. So I'm packing it up and packing it in, heading to places I've never been. No one can hold me down, no tell me that I can't. You can't stop my blood. I've got a bucket list of my own, and it's filling up my cup. You can't stop me now. I'm kicking up dust in my rear view. I've got a song to sing, places to see, and I'm doing it all with you. You can't stop me now. No, you can't stop me now. Put my dreams aside, high upon a shelf. Took them down and dust them off, and living for myself. You can't stop me now. I got music in my blood. I've got a bucket list of my own, and it's filling up my cup. You can't stop me now. I'm kicking up dust in my rear view. I've got a song to sing, places to see, and I'm doing it all with you. You can't stop me. Can't stop me now. I got music in my blood. I've got a bucket list a mile long and it's filling up my cup. You can't stop me now. I've got a song to sing, places to see, and I'm doing it all too. You can't stop me now. No, you can't stop me now. No, you can't stop me
That was another great song. That's Can't Stop Me Now by Amanda Keeles. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel. And Amanda, just thoughts on that song and your debut song. I think it was called Blame It on the Moonlight. And how did you come up with that?
So Can't Stop Me Now is just, like I had mentioned, it's kind of the power ballad. And it's just the song that is almost like an anthem, right? It's my own personal anthem, and it can really be anybody's personal anthem because I think it's just got a lot of energy behind it, and it's got a lot of that go get 'em. If you want something, go get it. Nothing can stop you. And Blame It on the Moonlight. Yeah, it was one of the very first songs I wrote. And it actually was, that was one of the winning songs of the Canadian Open Country Songwriting Contest. And it was more of a kind of a love song when I had entered it into the songwriting contest. And when we got into the studio, it kind of got a life of its own, and we sped it up to give it a little bit of a bit more of a beat. And that's how it came out as more of a real kind of a toe-tapping country tune.
Well, Amanda, you have a new fan in myself because I just love listening to your music, and I'm so happy for your success, and you've got quite the talent, and just a matter of time before you're in Nashville and everywhere around the world.
Oh, Chris, that's so nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I was going to ask you this question too. Your other song, Saving Grace, what was the inspiration behind Grace?
Sorry, you broke up a little bit. The inspiration behind Saving Grace?
I apologize, guys. I think it's just a Wi-Fi issue. I apologize. Hopefully we can get them here. I'm just talking to Amanda about her latest song. And are you back, Amanda? Sorry about that. It just froze up.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, I apologize for the issues today. Normally it's not like this, so I apologize, and hopefully we can just get through it for a few more minutes.
So you had asked me about Saving Grace?
Yes.
And the inspiration behind it. So when I wrote this, it was really the story about, your first love, and how, as you go through life, you never really forget about that first love that you had. It's, it's not something that you may ever, go back and want to, think about it, like actually see the person again. But it had such an impact on you at that time that, sometimes through life as you're going, you go back and you think about what that feeling was like and what that person meant to you at that time. So that's why when I wrote it, it was almost like I close my eyes and I think of you, because you are my saving grace. When, if you're going through something, or things seem to get a little hard to deal with, you can close your eyes and take yourself back to a time when you were happy and you felt you know, that first love feeling. So that's where Saving Grace came from. And when I brought this story to Jake Sovey at Rose House Productions, we got 2 actors in, and he put the story together exactly like I had explained it. This is what my thought process was when I wrote it. And it beautifully told the story from beginning to end.
And music is very powerful, like you said, Amanda. There's certain songs I hear on the radio or on Spotify, and it just takes me back to a certain decade, certain year. And sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad, but music is very powerful emotion.
It is. I agree with you. I think everybody agree with you on that, that you hear a song and it will take you right back to where you were when you were listening to that song.
And you know what's funny now about the sport of baseball? Every time these guys take the field or they come up to bat, they always pick a song, and it's just amazing how music has impacted the world of professional sports as well.
Yeah, so it does something for them, right? It just yeah, so when they hear that song, they're like they're ready to go. So, yeah, it's actually smart. You see all even like all professional athletes that come out, whether it's boxing or UFC or anything like that, they all have a theme song to get them pumped up before they actually play or perform.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Amanda, how satisfying is it seeing your music get so much attention and recognition both in Canada and the US and on platforms of Sirius XM's top of the country and even being on CTV News?
It's pretty neat. It's really neat. It's to be able to actually have people at these different places, especially Sirius XM. It's a tough spot to get on. There are so many artists, songs that they receive, and there's only so much space. So, seeing it on platforms like that and hearing it streamed on something like satellite radio is it's really it's good not only for an artist, because it helps them financially, right? It gives them a little bit of money back from that to be able to let them get back into the studio and do more songs. CTV News was really neat. It was I've been on a couple.
I apologize, guys. It's just off. Unfortunately, today the Wi-Fi and my Ethernet connection's not been the great, so I apologize. Amanda, you back? I am so sorry about that.
Okay.
Tech,
I was talking away. I don't know what you heard of that.
just how satisfying seeing the recognition of your music and how much of an impact it's making.
Yeah, it is really neat, especially CTV News has picked it up in a couple of locations, and being able to see like news stories, having spots on the programs it's a really neat feeling to be able to just get a greater audience.
Absolutely. And before we wrap this up, can you just tell my audience about your second leg of your Ontario tour, Can't Stop Me Now, and the debut of Playing It Cool, which we've already had on our show this morning?
Yeah, so we are starting off the second part of the tour this weekend. We are in Oshawa at the Biltmore Theatre on Friday night. We head to Kingston. We're going to do a play in the only country bar in Kingston. So we're doing kind of a off the tour kind of show there. We will be in Windsor at the Chrysler Theatre on October the 5th with special guest James Downham. And I'm going to be in Guelph on October 24th with special guest Angelica Appleman. So these are friends of mine from the independent music scene. They are fantastic. So I always have special guests on my shows. We do our shows in larger venues and kind of, you know, like public venues that are a little bit more seen. So I always like to bring in friends with me, friends that I feel have so much talent, and then they can share that stage with me. And
And I have it all down here on my graphics as well. I wanted to ask you this, Amanda. What's the best place for people to purchase tickets for your upcoming shows?
You can find them actually on the websites of the places that I'm playing, but the easiest place is to go into my website, click shows, and you will have all the ticket links are easy to find. You'll see a list of the upcoming shows. So that's probably the easiest place is just go straight to my website and click on shows.
In your first tour, what were some of your most memorable cities and places that you've performed at so far in your career?
Uh, you know what? Every single city we've done so far has is different. Like it's different. We did TD Music Hall. That's where we ended the first part of the tour was in Toronto. Um, we started in London. That was our first show. We started it where we're all from, and we had a great crowd and great reception. And that one was very special to us because it was our first one. As soon as we got off stage, we cracked open the champagne, and it was like, this is the beginning of us being on the road. There was Chatham, and then we went to Hamilton, Wingham. We went up to Wingham, and what a lovely, it was an older theater, so it had a completely different feel than these bigger theaters and venues that we've been playing. And, it's just each one of them, I walk away with something.
On average, how long is one of your shows? And I wanted to ask you this as well. Do you have a vocal coach or do you have a favorite drink that you have before or after a performance to help your vocals?
um, so what as far as a favorite drink to help my vocals, you know what? I drink I this is crazy, but I like Kirkland Costco green tea. I I don't know what it is about it. It just makes I drink a lot when I'm on stage because it's a lot of high energy. So I find that it's just like water to me. So I do drink that when I'm on stage. Um and what was it? Sorry, what was the other question?
On average, how long are one of your performances like?
They're usually
I
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. And I apologize again for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's just it's cutting out a little bit, but I think you asked how long one of my performances are, and the shows usually run
On
about
average.
about an hour and a half.
And I wanted there was something else I was going to ask you as well. I should have wrote it down. This is what happens when you turn 52. If you don't write things down, you forget. But oh, now I remember. Now I remember. I wanted to. I'm going to ask you this too. As a performer, do you have any rituals or superstitions before you go
Hmm.
live on stage?
Ah, I'm not very superstitious. Um, as far as a ritual, we always do that. You know how you see some teams, they all put their hands together and go, hey, like before they go out and play a game or whatever. We always do that. We always do that before we go on stage. We're like, okay, ready, let's go. And we just kind of pump each other up before we get out there just to get the energy high before we start.
And when you do a live performance, do you guys like to get there like 2 hours early to do your sound check, audio checks, and all that stuff?
We do
Lighting?
get there. Yeah, we do get there early. We're usually there anywhere from, 4 or 5 hours prior, just for setup, sound check. We have our special guests come in, do their sound check. Then we usually get a dinner in, get a little time just to chill before the show. And yeah, so we're there pretty much a full day, I'd say. By the time we get there and the whole show and that, we're there a good 8 hours, I'd say, for sure.
Is there anybody else you'd like to get before we wrap things up?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Is there anybody else you'd like to give a shout out to before we wrap up our show today?
Oh, wow. Gee, just a big shout out to everybody who's listening to my music. I always will give a shout out to my team behind me. Um, the people that work hard to get me interviews, to get me spots on television, and my band that works really hard on making my songs sound the best that they can. Um, and also my family, that are so supportive. Uh, but also anybody who comes to the shows and everyone who's streaming and listening to my music. That really means a lot. I love all the messages that I get, all the direct messages and all the comments of the posts that go out. I appreciate every single one of them. And, I get a lot of messages through the day come through, and I may not be able to answer all of them all the time, like right away, but I do see them and I do answer them eventually. So just know that I do read everything that comes through.
And I want to say thank you to yourself for we connected through Facebook, and I want to shout out Carrie as well for arranging your appearance today as well.
Yes, my publicist. She is wonderful, and she is a very important part of my team.
And finally, I do this with all my guests. What are some fun facts about Amanda Keeles, your audience, and you?
That might not know about me. Okay, fun facts. I love football. I'm a huge football
Yes,
fan.
yes,
I'm not going to tell you who my favorite team is because
or NFL.
NFL. I love NFL football. Um,
You're
what else?
Philadelphia
What,
Eagles fan? Philadelphia Eagles fan?
what if I say my team and then everybody's like, no, that's not the right team?
That's okay. That's okay. I'm a huge NFL CFL fan. So yeah, that okay. Football fan.
Yeah. Gee, what else? I have the most adorable little dog, a little miniature Yorkie who is like my best buddy. Absolutely adore her. Um, what else? I love traveling. I love to travel. My favorite place in the Caribbean, I love going to Aruba. So I'm an Aruba visitor at least once a year. Um, Gee, what else? I'm kind of a nerd a little bit. I like word games and crosswords. And then on the flip side, I like watching like the big matches of, like, this is crazy, but you'd never guess this. I love watching the big matches of UFC. Like the big ones. I don't watch it on a regular basis, but when you have like big sports finals in anything, I love to watch it.
Absolutely.
Stanley Cup, like like anything sports related, that is the biggest match of the year.
And finally, what do you enjoy the most about living in London, Ontario?
I love just the proximity to everything. It seems almost central to where I am to go to Toronto, and I love the beauty of the walking paths here. If you've never visited London, it has the most beautiful paths. Um, and just the music. Like, this city is, it's UNESCO city. It's it hosts all really big name performers. So I like the fact that it is not so huge of a city that uh it takes you forever to get around. It's growing, of course, but it's kind of that in between city where you have everything you need. And we can fly out from anywhere here in London. So it pretty much just has everything that someone would want in a city that's not too large.
Favorite place in the city of London to perform so far?
Hmm. Well, we started off the tour at the Wolf Performance Theater downtown, and the acoustics in there and the sound, the stage, it was a very, very nice place to start your first show of the tour. The London Music Hall, we shot a video in there. That's always a favorite place for touring musicians to play. And then we have Bud Gardens, right? That's like our big arena here that gets the big names come in and play. So it doesn't matter what size of a venue you're looking for, you're going to find it in London.
What's the biggest audience you've played in front of so far in your career?
Um, I would say probably 3,500, 3,500. I did I did the national anthem at the Canadian National Motocross Championships, and it was like that was the most people that I did in front of. My shows, depending what theater we're in, depending what city we're in, is all different sizes. So sometimes they're intimate because we do some intimate shows as well. We're going to be in Stratford at the beginning of November, at a smaller location called the Bunker, and they get music in there almost every night. But we are going to do a really intimate show there. And same within Kingston. There's limited seating available in that venue. So it's different size audiences depending where we're playing. So we don't just concentrate on one particular size venue. We do all different things.
And I'm very excited to come see you at the River Run Center on Thursday, October 24th. I believe riverrun.ca or your website, amandakeeles.com. What time is your performance on Thursday, October 24th? Is it 7:30 or 8 o'clock?
It's at 8 o'clock, and Angelica Appleman will be starting the show. And then we will be out roughly around 8:30.
Okay. And by the way, if you ever want to do a national anthem at a professional sports team, I do some media coverage for the Toronto Argonauts, the Buffalo Bisons, and the Buffalo Bandits. Just let me know, and I'll see what I can do if you ever want me to see if I can get you singing the national anthem opportunities as well.
Oh, that'd be fun. I'd absolutely do that. That would be fun.
But I want to say, Amanda, thank you so much for giving us over an hour of your time today and to share your stories and your wonderful music. And I'm really excited to hopefully get to meet you on October 24th at the River Run Center in Guelph. And I want to wish you continued success in your music career. And you have an open invite to come back on my show again in the future.
Oh, Chris, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed chatting with you.
And just give me a little bit of time this afternoon, and I will send you a video copy of this show, audio, and I'm going to edit it and do some reels and clips as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Have a great rest of the afternoon, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was season 8, episode 50, overall 435, with my guest today, Amanda Keeles, country music recording artist, and she's got an upcoming tour, which is starting September 27th at the Biltmore Hotel in Oshawa. It's called the Can't Stop Me Now Tour, and you guys can check out her music and more about her information about her performances at amandakeeles.com. amandakeeles.com, and she's also on some other websites. She's on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. She's also on Linktree. You can check out Linktree/Amanda Keeles. And her website again is amandakeeles.com. And she's also on Twitter, X at Amanda_Keeles as well. So again, I want to say thank you again to Amanda Keeles, London, Ontario, award-winning country artist who just released her latest single, Playing It Cool. And she's also a two-time winner of the Canadian Open Singer-Songwriter Contest as well. Before we wrap up this show, guys, my next Argo Bounce Live audio show with Nick Small and myself is going to be tonight, Monday, September 23rd, tonight at 8 o'clock. And Nick and I are going to talk Toronto Argonauts, recap their game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, which they lost 33-31. And we're going to preview the Argos' upcoming game this Saturday night, September 28th, 7 o'clock at BMO Field against the Grey Cup champion Montreal Alouettes, which I will be at BMO Field covering as media. So make sure you check out my social media pages for pictures, videos, and some pre and post game interviews. And also, guys, I was down in Buffalo this past weekend at Salin Field covering the Buffalo Bisons series against the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, and I did some interviews with Cam Eden and Adam Markle from the Rail Riders, and as well as some Buffalo Bisons as well. And the 2024 Buffalo Bisons have wrapped up their season, and I want to say thank you to Pat Malacaro and the Buffalo Bisons organization for my media pass and opportunities this year. And if you don't know, the Bisons are the top farm team of the Toronto Blue Jays. Speaking of baseball, guys, the Detroit Tigers are now 82-74 after their 4-3 win over the Orioles yesterday. The Tigers are now in the second wild card spot in the American League. The Detroit Tigers in their last 38 games since August 10th are 27-11 in their last 38 games. And the Tigers are off today, but they have 6 more games left. 3 games at home at Comerica Park starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Rays. And then next weekend, a 3-game series against the worst team in Major League Baseball and one of the worst in Major League Baseball history, the Chicago White Sox, who've tied the New York Mets for the most losses in a season at 120. So the Detroit Tigers, I'm just predicting if they can win 4 or 5 out of these 6 games at Comerica Park, they will have about 85, 86 wins. The Tigers should make the wild card. So what a job by AJ Hinch, the manager and the coaching staff. And it's just great to see the Detroit Tigers playing great baseball in the months of September as well. By the way, before we wrap up this show tonight, guys, we have Monday Night Football. We got 2 games on tonight. 7:30 from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. You've got the 0-2 Jacksonville Jaguars led by Trevor Lawrence taking on the 2-0 Buffalo Bills under Josh Allen. And I think this is a trap game for Buffalo because the Bills next week are taking on the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And I'm going to pick the Jaguars in an upset tonight. Buffalo should win this game, but Jacksonville, the last couple of meetings, has shut down the Bills and Josh Allen. And I think the Jags are going to get their first win tonight as well. And let's see, guys, before we wrap up this show, like I do with OA, as always, if you're looking to adopt, don't shop, check out the Cambridge and District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road, Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722 or visit their website at cambridgehumanesociety.org. If you're looking to volunteer, you can do it through their website. And also, they're doing a 50-50 draw, a monthly 50-50 draw at the Cambridge District Humane Society. All proceeds go to the Humane Society there as well. And all the animals up for adoption, their profiles are on the website as well. And adopt, don't shop. You can't buy happiness, but you can adopt it. So the Cambridge District Humane Society, a lot of furry friends that need forever homes and families, and they do wonderful work there at the Cambridge District Humane Society. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is hosted by yours truly, Chris Pame, is on weeknights from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern on WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, the home of Southern sports and talk, the heartbeat of Atlanta. Our radio station's website is wqeefm.radio12345.com. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter/X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And also, guys, I am on Cameo. Check out Chris Palme on cameo.com, and I'd be happy to do a personalized video message for you. And all the proceeds from my Cameo videos will go to my radio and media work. Also, you can check out my website at beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. All my social media sites, previous radio shows, and all my content is on beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show again is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Gulf Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, as well as Cadillacs. And they are the number one selling electric vehicle GM dealership in Ontario. And you can also call the dealership at 519-824-0210, or you can email Barry Cullen Chevrolet at info@barrycullen.com. Live with CDP merchandise is coming soon. You can also follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP. I am a content creator and I'm on TikTok often. And I want to say thank you to my 2,452 followers on TikTok, which has been a really great tool for my social media work and radio show. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting or live stream, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans or a paid professional plan, which I'm on. And if you're a business that needs a live streaming service, StreamYard.com, and contact the sales department there as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is available on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, TuneIn, and YouTube Music and Buzzsprout. But as for YouTube Music, just type in Chris Palme Live with CDP Sports Talk and hit that subscribe notification. And I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and viewers on my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed, type in Chris Palme Live with CDP Talk Show and hit that subscribe and like notification. Finally, guys, you can email or text Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com, or you can text the show at 519-820-7188. Any comments, questions, suggestions, any feedback would be greatly appreciated. And again, I'm on all social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I'm also on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chris Palme, and I'm also on Threads as well. And that's about it for today's show, guys. I want to say thank you so much to my guest, Canadian country music artist and superstar Amanda Keeles, for coming on here. And again, please check out her website, amandakeeles.com. And she has her 2024 album tour coming up starting this Friday in Oshawa. So all the information is down there. But I want to say thank you to Amanda Keeles for coming on, as well as the WQEE 99.1 FM for airing this show, and to my sponsor, Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership. So I'm looking forward to the Argo Bounce Live Audio Show, episode 14 tonight, 8 o'clock, with Nick Small and myself talking Argonauts football and breaking down their loss to Hamilton. And the next Small Talk podcast is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, September 24th, 8 p.m. Marlene Sharp and I, our special guest is going to be Vladim Govorov. He is a professional deep sea diver. He's a clay sculptor and he's a toy maker. So I'm looking forward to episode 9 of the Small Talk podcast tomorrow as well. And I'm also looking for more businesses and sponsors for Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the Yargo Bounce Live Audio Show, and the Small Talk Podcast. You can email me at cpame19@gmail.com or just DM me directly on my social media pages as well. And that's about it. I hope everybody has a great rest of the Monday. Enjoy the doubleheader Monday night football games. And I apologize for the Wi-Fi issues today, and hopefully I'm straight for tonight's show as well. So I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you back here tonight at 8 o'clock for the Argo Bounce Live Audio Show. And I will make an announcement this week for my next live CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and thanks for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk.